KCrypto. KCrypto.
Hi, I'm Peter Chung, the host of KCrypto, and today we have a very special guest. I've always wanted to invite experts in the blockchain gaming industry, given that Korea is very well known for having a well-advanced gaming infrastructure, and so I've always had a hunch that if I look for hard enough, we'll be able to find someone with very good qualifications to address this topic. Co-founders and co-CEOs of Planetarium, Mr. JC Kim and Mr. Kijun. So,
yeah, this is JC, and
I'm Kijun.
hello. Well, thanks for your time.
thank you.
First of all, your background and how you end up actually joining this blockchain industry. So maybe starting with you.
So I was a CTO of Spoka. So Spoka is a startup which is making customer loyalty application.
Mm-hmm.
So I started blockchain
Mm-hmm.
for upgrading that product.
Mm-hmm.
And at first it was my hobby project.
Okay.
And so I want to learn what is blockchain,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to make something
Mm-hmm.
to understand blockchain.
Okay.
I love games,
Uh-huh.
especially the role-playing game is
Yeah.
my favorite gaming genre.
Okay.
So I want to make the role-playing game
Uh-huh.
using blockchain.
Okay.
So that's the starting point
Yeah.
of this project.
I see. So how long you been with the Planetarium then?
We started this project as two years ago.
Yeah. And then how about you, Mr. Kijun? How about
Yeah.
Over here.
So I started my career as an engineer at Nexon and worked at pre-IPO Dropbox for a few years. And I was in Korea, and I was just looking for opportunities. I was making indie games at the time, a lot of different varieties, and I met JC, and he, started talking about the project that he was doing, and it was growing into being more than just a pet project.
Mhm.
We both believed in this idea of, like online gaming that like doesn't have servers, and actually the gamers being responsible to run the community, which was exciting for me. And when we got investors really positive on what the products that we were, I guess like they imagined us to build and we were going to build, we thought it was a good timing to get started in the business.
Okay.
So yeah, that was 2018, and now we're here.
All right. Some of our viewers might not necessarily be that familiar with the gaming industry itself, and also how blockchain can be kind of relevant for the industry. So maybe I want to start off with with a question. If you were to describe the landscape of the blockchain gaming industry to somebody who's new to the space, how would you go about doing that?
Yeah, it's really interesting because some of the things that are happening in the space doesn't necessarily look like games, but that's how the history of blockchain games got started. Initially there was Vitalik, of course, like we all start from Satoshi and Vitalik, and after Vitalik, when we had smart contracts, people started imagining other things to be run on blockchains. And one of them, I think, what like popularized this concept of blockchain gaming or NFT that we hear of is CryptoKitties from Dapper Labs, right? Yeah, but when people said they played CryptoKitties, it was just a novelty of owning things on top of blockchain. That was not just coins.
Right.
And these are called non-fungible tokens. And when CryptoKitties, people started buying and selling them, people were always asking this question, like, are they games? Like, what are we actually playing? And I think there was this surge of games, like proper game-like things that were being built on blockchain. For example, EOS Nights from years ago, from like about a year. I say years, but it's only been like a year and a half.
Yeah, I know. Time flies fast in this industry.
Yeah. Oh my God, that seems like a long time ago. But yeah, like they were building fully decentralized experiences on top of EOS, which is possible because they didn't have to pay for CryptoKey for creating transactions on with either. But EOS also had its own share of problems. And after those experiments, I think like the field is more varied now. Some people are focusing into NFT and trading and like game collectible cards. There are some people who are, running some sort of decentralized gaming on blockchain with logic on top of smart contracts, but also running servers. For example, we're running the entire logic on blockchain maintained by our actual gamers. And companies like Ubisoft or other players are actually looking into the scene and trying to understand the appeal and the effect from the marketplace standpoint.
Right. So it sounds like there are like few different approaches to this topic. Would you say at this point any one of them is actually making more progress than the others?
So yeah, I mean, when you think about it, I can think of like this NFT and collectible angle.
Right.
And where you own cards, when you own like special tokens tied to a physical thing or something like that. That's been going along. And also there's a camp of people who want to build decentralized games on top of blockchain infrastructure. And I think we've made really healthy progress in the last few years. But I think NFT is more visible because first of all, it's expensive. When people start buying and selling expensive things, it starts, getting people's attention. And also, I think I wouldn't say it's easy from technical perspective, but building a full game on a blockchain network is hard compared to issuing tokens. So I think like in that way, there's been a lot of adoption because the technology itself was easy to approach from technical perspective.
Right. Okay. I've heard a lot about how the blockchain is the technology that has a lot of potential in the gaming industry. But in terms of we haven't really seen that I guess killer game applications yet. Maybe apart from CryptoKitties, but that's also now CryptoKitties is only kind of a niche product. If you think about it, only known to the people who are actually exposed to the blockchain industry. So, what would you say are some of the bottlenecks that needs to be resolved before blockchain gets more widely adopted in the gaming industry?
I think there's really this usability approach, usability aspect from two different angles. Like one is that like blockchains are just hard to use by consumers right now. And I think a lot of that problem has been solved, or it's getting easier. I see a really pretty short time horizon until people start understanding and utilizing some of its most important aspect. But also from game developer side, like how do we, for example, in most games you have, let's say you have the main currency gold, World of Warcraft has gold and silver, then they can issue this forever, right? Like issue as much gold as they want. But in blockchain gaming, you kind of have to understand that like your economics, it's going to be market driven from the very start, and you're going to have to make it right and design it correctly from pretty much the beginning, because it's not like you can issue more tokens. Like this would have a really adverse effect on the game universe. So when we want to talk about the bottlenecks, we want to talk about the possibility first. Like why are they interested from the from the first, right? If this technology is so hard to use. And I think this idea that every online game is a virtual economy, but can have market value, can have people trading, buying, creating content, and monetizing. I think this is a really wild idea for a lot of studios out there. But in order to do that, they have to understand crypto economics. That's not an easy thing for us to do on top of making a game that is going to be widely adopted. So I think like usability and understanding economics from game design perspective is actually one of the most important things that needs to be better and done. But also from a technical perspective, like it's very hard to build anything on top of Solidity, or like it's getting easier, but also being able to run, for example, let's say you have code that you want to use in your game, but you have to basically restructure everything so that it fits the blockchain mentality and the tools. So I like for our standpoint, we think the tools need to be designed for games to become decentralized, as opposed to saying, hey, these are tools for Ethereum. Like we're going to tweak it a little bit for game designers to implement virtual universes. I like that really is a difficult step to overcome.
You think these Ethereum or other type of existing public blockchain networks at the moment are suitable enough for adoption in the gaming industry, or if not,
KCrypto.
why would that be?
KCrypto.